Thermopolis Basketball Club organizes competitive basketball for Thermopolis youth, teaching fundamentals, sportsmanship, discipline, and teamwork for grades 3rd through 12th. Thank you to our sponsors for supporting our athletes. Proud sponsor of Two Basin Sports Network.
Hello everybody and welcome here inside of Hot Springs County High School. It is freshman girls basketball on Two Basins Sports Network, the future of the Bobcats here on the Voice of the Bobcats. We hope you guys had a really good Christmas and an even better New Year, but the festivities are over and it is finally time to get back into the swing of things. 2026 is here as the Bobcat basketball program tries to defend their gold and bronze medals from the 2025 season. The girls obviously finishing 3rd in state against Rocky in that last-second buzzer beater. Boys beating Pine Bluffs in the championship game. But where did those players all start out at? Well, they started right here. It's freshman basketball on TBSN. So great to have you all with us. Happy New Year. Before we get started, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Kirby Consulting. Serving the Rockies and Western Plains since 2014, Kirby Consulting is your elite oil field professionals. This game also brought to you by Thermopolis Basketball Club. And also, not to mention, TBC, where a lot of these girls wearing purple got their start too, fostering them at the club level. Of course, big congratulations to TBC for what they did in Cody. I know they also won a championship at another tournament. Can't remember if it was Douglas or if it was I can't remember what, but keeping some tabs on at the club level. So that being said, glad to have you all with us. Like we said, the Thermopolis Bobcats. It's going to be a rivalry matchup here tonight as they take on the Worland Warriors for some freshman action. Worland Warriors will be wearing their away blacks today with the orange lettering. Worland across the chest, an orange stripe as well. Worland, I think, will be starting off left to right. Thermopolis Bobcats wearing their home white uniforms today with the purple stripes, purple numbering and lettering, Bobcats across the front of the uniform. They'll be moving right to left. And also, a bit of an announcement here. Our player of the game from this point forward will be brought to you by Thermopolis Basketball Club. So once again, thank you to those guys. They signed on to be the player of the game sponsor, and they also had a nice little commercial for us too. So hopefully it'll break up some of the silence in the middle of the quarters. And we are underway. It's the Warriors and the Bobcats on Two Basins Sports Network. Taking a 3 ball just to start us off. That one's up and no good. Rebounded on the near side. They're going to try and get a shot up from the left side. That one's up no good off of Jaden Boren. Worland will grab the rebound, and here comes the 2 of Kylie Bell. Worland working with 6 girls on their freshman roster. A little bit of an alarming sight. Slips through her fingers. This one's stolen away. Coming back the other way. Here comes the 2. This is Carson Ivy. Down the right side. Up and in! Bobcats will get it started off here with the first basket of the game. Warriors trying to counter. Here comes Kylie Bell. Double teamed on the near side. Good pickup. That one swatted away and picked up and out of bounds. Number 34, Paisley Logan, the 9th grader well, they're all 9th graders. I say this every time. But Paisley Logan on last contact. Very good defense here by the Cats. And we know that Shane Corpening, the boys head coach, I know this is a different program, but down the right side shot is on its way up. No good. Jaden Bourne there on the shot. And we saw on Facebook and Instagram that Shane Corpening talked to a page, like a little Facebook page called Wyoming 5 Stars, and he was mentioning about how defense is always the most important part when it comes to their practices. And I'm pretty sure that philosophy also kind of bleeds into the girls program as well. We know that the girls coaches really want their girls to be able to control the pace of the game. And they're doing that. They've been doing that in a couple of flashes that we've seen. Passing it right side, over her head, moving left side. This is the 3. Down the right side is Logan. Shots up and it's in. 4-0. Bobcats making it work here on rivalry night. Probably the only time these girls will see Worland this season. The varsity level is not going to see Worland in any capacity. I think instead of, no disrespect to Lovell, right? I really am looking forward to going to Lovell later on this year, but I really do think that instead of Lovell, our 3A team should be Worland. I feel like that should be some kind of a protected game, and that applies to football too. Right side, moving to her right, and this is a loose ball picked up. In the middle of it was Jakay Elder. Tries a pass to the middle of the floor. That will not work out. And Worland going to try to reset here. They'll go to the far side, up to the volleyball line. Now here comes the three. She'll pass it right side to Briley Trottvine. I think we struggled with her name last year, too, when she was an 8th grader. Out of bounds. This one looks like it'll stay here with the Lady Warriors. It's so weird. We saw these girls wearing the green uniforms last year. Now they're up at the high school level. They're wearing the black and orange. Bounce pass into the middle, and Paisley Logan, raccoon hands. She's got 2 steals on the day today, as far as I'm aware. Bring it up past the timeline. Stops. Floats it up to the middle there to, I think that's Carson Ivy. Loses control of the ball. She'll pass left side. Moving to her left is Jakay Elder. Now onto the elbow. Shot up for Mackenzie Buckner and splash. And that's how you get it done. 6-0 run for the Bobcats. And we know from the 8th grade year, right? We knew that this team's going to be scary good. And I really do think, because this is not going to be the toughest opponent that they face this year. I think they got a game coming up against. They got games coming up against Lander and against Cody. So those are going to be some tough opponents. If they can handle Worland, I think they can handle Cody. At the very least, they can handle Lander. Bounce pass up into the left side, picks up the dribble, gives it on back. Now she'll move right side. Here comes Carson Ivy. Bounce pass right. Picked up the dribble. Buckner passes it left side back to Ivy. She'll try to drive inside. Picks up the dribble up toward the corner. Now left side up to Jaden Boren. She'll drive inside. And that will force the jump ball. And I think that's going to give it back to, hold on. Should give it back to Worland. So the possession arrow is looking like it's going to go back to Worland here, and I think the referees are discussing something down at the scorer's bench here. So 5:05 left to go. Glad to have y'all with us here in this freshman girls game. We got boys action coming up after this as well. We have a stoppage in play. We're trying to see what's going on. Worland coach coming over there to discuss as well. I got one muff off trying to figure out what's going on. And is it potentially an issue with the... It looks like it might be a scorebook issue. So Worland's trying to figure that out. That's what the stoppage of play is. I don't know what's going on. And we know that the administration down at the scorer's bench was motioning to the refs after that jump ball. So it looks like there's just an issue with the scorebook, it looks like. Of course, we don't know for sure. I wish we had these. I think we need to just invest in some podcast mics and get these guys mic'd up because I wish I knew what was going on. At least if we mic them up, I can monitor the mics on OBS, and you guys would be able to hear it too. So, looks like we have a technical foul here as a result. So, shot is up, and it is no good. And the Worland coach, which I believe is Jamie Byers, he's calling his girls in. And second shot not going to fall there for Carson Ivy, so she'll be 0 for 2 on the technical foul shots here. What a weird way to start this game. A roster error leads to that. And I know we had something similar occur. I think we had something similar in the middle school season this past fall, actually. I know we had an issue last year against Worland, but that was intentional because TJ Owsley was trying to get his literally all of his eighth graders on the floor at the same time. Now to the right side, Logan up the right side, and that is 4 points on the day for the young lady. She gets in there sneaky and gets the 2. And Worland starting to crumble. A lot of mistakes. We already saw some coaching mistakes there with the roster. We got a blocking foul on the Bobcats. Looks to be the 2 of Carson Ivy. She'll get her first personal. First team foul for the Bobcats. And they'll get ready to go again, passing it into the near side. 4:35 to go. Up to the volleyball line is the 5. She'll pass it up to the 35 now of, I think that was actually the 15, sorry, of Moana Peterson. And now here down the right side. Kicks it on back. This is Trotvine. She'll try to get out of it. Moving to the left side. She'll pass left. Here comes Peterson. Now to the far side up to Brianna Kaufman. Now back up to Peterson. She'll drive inside, loses the ball. On its way down the near side. Down the left she goes. Passes it wide open, and that is out of bounds. Jaden Bourne, unfortunately not able to get it, haul it in there for the basket. And she was wide open. That was a very, very good showing of team basketball there by the Lady Cats. And I think this is something that they're going to get better at as the season progresses. They just got to be ready for those passes. Worland on the far side here. So you can definitely expect the Bobcats to try a lot of fast break play here in this game, I think. Obviously, this is our first freshman game that we've called this year. We were supposed to call the game against the Arapahoe Charter, but fell ill with a stomach virus. Same reason why we weren't able to catch them in Rollins. And then the game against Lovell was canceled. So we have not seen this freshman team yet on TBSN. That being said, we could always look back at the NFHS tape and see how these girls, usually play their game. But really loving this, and we saw this at the 8th grade level. Really good, really fantastic defense, at which I praised the 2025 middle school team on early, but they kind of fell short as the season progressed. So, this team has always been a good defending team, and they usually get a lot of steals, and that usually translates into points. But a foul coming up here. Shot on its way. It's up and off the back iron. Worland still searching for their first point of the game. Moana Peterson up onto the line. Peterson takes her second shot. Worland still going to be looking for their first point. And now here comes Bourne on the breakaway down the right side. It's Elder. Shots up and no good. Rebounded by Ivy. Rolls that one over the rim and in. 10 points on the board for the Bobcats. And there, as a Bobcat, if you grew up with the purple and gold your entire life, you know that there's no better feeling than having the edge over the orange and black. These girls are having the time of their lives out there right now. Out of bounds, it's going back to the Bobcats. She'll toss it into the middle. I think this is Bourne with it. She'll have it up the Bobcat head, trying to get the play going. No motion here on the offensive side. They'll kick this one back, now moving it around the perimeter. And they're going to call the traveling violation here on the 5 of Mackenzie Buckner. We got our first sub of the day for the Bobcats, Aislinn Dobbins checking in. And unfortunately, the Bobcats not working with very many freshmen for the girls. There are 7 players on the roster. That amounts to 2 subs, which I guess for 2A, they're kind of lucky that they even have a freshman team at all. But out of bounds on the near side, that is going to feed this one back to Worland. I think Thermopolis had a steal attempt there. Chased it out on the near side up toward the sticky pad. Barely avoids the backcourt. They'll go up far side on the round top. Now going right side. Up top, moving left is Brianna Kaufman. Stops, passes right side to Bell. Now around the perimeter to Trotvine. Now back up to the volleyball line. Trying to get rid of it. This is like 50s basketball here. Now she dribbles. But Worland has been playing just like an old style of basketball. Just no dribbling, just passing. And now a steal. Elder passes it back up top now to Bourne. Bourne looking for options. This one's up for, I think, 2. That one's up no good. Out of bounds it goes, and I think Dobbins was down there to touch it last for the Cats. 2:17 to go in the opening quarter in this freshman girls contest. Hope you're having a great time here. 2 men in the backcourt here. and swatted out by Logan. Should stay with the Warriors. And a lot of fans here in attendance. A lot of orange and black and a lot of purple and gold here today. So thank you, fans, for coming out supporting these young ladies. On the ear of the Bobcat, tries to skip to the far side up to the 5, and she'll try to drive it to the left. That's a loose ball, and looks like they're going to call a whistle too. And I think they're going to call the push foul here on Mackenzie Buckner. It'll be her first personal foul. Worland will keep the ball. Passes it in down the right side. Shot is up and in. Moana Peterson will break the seal for the Warriors. That'll make this a 10-2 ball game. Up top, here comes Boren. Underhands it to Paisley Logan. Logan with 4 points on the day now. Here comes a shot by Dobbins. Up and in. Aislinn Dobbins answers at the rim. We haven't seen any 3-ball attempts today for the Bobcats, and that's something that this team did well as 8th graders, was shoot from beyond the arc. I think they're trying to get some inside shots in first. I think then they'll probably be a little bit more comfortable as the game progresses. The steal there is going to be taken up back to Buckner. She'll drive right side on the shot up, no good. Should be a jump ball, and I think this will go back to the Bobcats. No, it will not. Oh, yeah, that's right, because last time it was a jump ball, there was the technical foul, so arrow's not going to change there. It will be Warrior ball. Do apologize for that. Yeah, I got dreams of coaching varsity someday, and then I forget the possession arrow, it's just funny, you know. Worland with the possession here under the base, or up near the baseline here, kicks it back to Kylie Bell. She'll drive right side, blocked by Logan. I think that might have been a shot attempt, and now here comes Boren down the middle of the floor in transition. Worland will successfully stop the fast break, less than a minute to go. Here comes Buckner down the right side, one-on-one, it's up and it's in! 14-2. It is a really messed up football score here in Thermopolis, more like a lacrosse score, if anything. And Logan on yet another steal. She is just on fire today. 4 points, 3 steals today so far. Jaden Boren up top. Maybe it might be 4 steals. I actually don't know. Either way, a very good defensive performance for Miss Logan today. Up top was Buckner, 10 seconds to go. Moves slowly to her left side, try to get by Briley Trottvine, and now up to the far side. This will be a 2-ball. This one's up, kick, and it to fall. And the buzzer will go off before they whistle for the jump ball. And that is going to conclude the first quarter. We'll be back here in just less than a minute here as the Thermopolis Bobcats lead over the Worland Warriors 14-2. You're watching freshman girls basketball on Two Basins Sports Network, the future of the Bobcats, here on the Voice of the Bobcats.
Thermopolis Basketball Club organizes competitive basketball for Thermopolis youth, teaching fundamentals, sportsmanship, discipline, and teamwork for grades 3rd through 12th. Thank you to our sponsors for supporting our athletes. Proud sponsor of Two Basin Sports Network.
Glad to have you all with us here as we get ready to go for the start of the second quarter. Thermopolis Bobcats and the Worland Lady Warriors on Two Basins Sports Network, the future of the Bobcats on the Voice of the Bobcats. 14-2 is your score here at the beginning of the second quarter. Player of the game today so far has been Paisley Logan. Said this earlier. From my count, 3 steals and 4 points for Logan. I don't think she's been the biggest scorer today, but there's been such a diversity of points distribution out there on the floor tonight for the Bobcats. There have been multiple different scores tonight. I think Logan and Buckner are the only ones that I think Logan, Buckner, and Ivy, I believe, have multiple baskets tonight. So great job for the Bobcats offensively. Running shot, that one's up, no good. Boren on the rebound, it gets poked loose and taken back away. We got a whistle. Brianna Kaufman was in there, originally had the steal, and it looks like they're going to let Worland get this one away. A foul committed by the 20 of Jaden Boren. Whew. What a game it's been so far. Freshman girls basketball brought to you by Kirby Consulting and Thermopolis Basketball Club. Almost got the steal there. Gets to the right side, spins by, takes an open shot. That one's up and in, and a defensive breakdown there as Brindley Erickson will get the basket. First one of the quarter for the Warriors. Took them to about the last 2 minutes of the quarter for the Warriors to get their first basket. Moving left side and drives to the free throw line. Now back up to the right side, picks up the dribble, now goes left up top. Now here comes the 14. This is going to be Dobbins. She'll pass right side. Boren tries for three. That one's up, no good. Logan on the rebound, a foul! 2 shots coming up for the Cats. 7:08 to go. Paisley Logan going to the charity stripe. Not afraid to get in there and gets the contact. Did that in her 8th grade year as well. And using her height to her advantage here. I think they got her playing at that 5 position. Shot is up and it's in. And so now she has 5 points on the day. Currently your scoring leader. Make that 6. And Logan, I can't remember if she was one of those hit or miss type of players on her free throws. I know that she went to the stripe a lot in 2024. Up to the far side, on to around top. She'll pass right side. They'll take the 3 ball. That one's up, kicking it to go. And rebounded by the 15 of Peterson on the shot by Trontvine. Goes out of bounds. 6:49 to go here on the TPSN scoreboard. And poked out of bounds. So Worland will keep it there. And we have another timeout. Looks like it's going to be Worland timeout. So we'll be back in just a moment as we'll take a quick breather. Freshman girls basketball returns on Two Basins Sports Network. 16-4, Bobcats lead.
Thermopolis Basketball Club organizes competitive basketball for Thermopolis youth, teaching fundamentals, sportsmanship, discipline, and teamwork for grades 3rd through 12th. Thank you to our sponsors for supporting our athletes. Proud sponsor of Two Basin Sports Network.
I'd like to welcome you back here inside of Hot Springs County High School, home of the Bobcats. It's freshman girls basketball on Two Basins Sports Network. This game brought to you by Kirby Consulting, serving the Rockies and Western Plains since 2014. Kirby Consulting is your elite oil field professionals. And by Thermopolis Basketball Club. Well, Worland called the timeout before we went to break there, and it's looking more and more like, the Bobcats, if they can continue this momentum going into the next half, it's one thing to dominate the first quarter, second quarter, whatever, but you have to put all 4 quarters together, and we no doubt that these girls can do that, right? I'm not questioning that, but we saw a couple of times in the middle school season this past season in 2025, the girls would get out to they catch fire too early or too late, right? And then wouldn't be able to put all 4 quarters together. Hoping we'll see that here in this game, that they can finish strong here. Gets it up to the right side, takes the shot. That one's up and rolls in. I think that was 24, Brindley Erickson. I believe she's got 4 points on the game. Up past the timeline here, Jaden Boren trying to cross over Kylie Bell. Goes to the left side. Here comes another pass up to Boren. Remember, the Bobcats, the 8th graders. Oh, shots up and in there on the right side. Beautiful. But you remember in 2024, the 8th graders were able to take down Worland both times during that middle school season. I'm wondering how much of those wounds are still there for Worland, because you don't forget that kind of thing. The sweep there the Bobcats had in that season. It never does feel good to lose to a rival. The foul there, Brindley Erickson will be looking for her 5th and possibly 6th points of the night. I do believe that Paisley Logan is still your points leader with 6 points on the game. Shot on its way, it's up and it's no good. But Brindley Erickson does lead the Warriors tonight with points. She's got 4, both of them coming as field goals. Her teammate, Moana Peterson, had a couple of free throws earlier on, and she'll splash this one. 5 points on the day now. 5 of 7 for the Warriors here tonight. 18-7 overall here. Here comes a big three coming up, and Ivy can't get it to go. And jump ball. It looks like this one should go back to the Warriors. We have a sub coming in for the Bobcats. It appears that they're going to put Mackenzie Buckner back into the game. Like we said earlier, only 7 players on the roster. That's 2 subs. So the Bobcats, unfortunately, kind of have to be a little, they have to be kind of selective with who they take out of the game. They don't have very many subs to use, and makes you wonder, kind of have to have a good conditioning program at that rate. And a big steal here as Ja'Kay Elder picks it up. Now coming past the backcourt is Boren. Boren up to the far side in the volleyball line. She'll cross over, moves to her left, jump stops, kicks it back out to Ivy. She'll move to the elbow. Has an open man into the corner. That is Jaden Boren. Goes on a baseline drive, slings it to the left, and tries to give it up to Dobbins. It'll go out of bounds. It'll be Bobcat ball. Looks like we got one checking in for Worland, number 20. Check that. Wrong roster again. Number 20. She's not on our roster. And again, Worland, like we said earlier, I think they have a similar amount of subs to use that Thermopolis does. If they have one missing from the roster, that means they have 7 players. That's 2 subs. Shots up and it's no good, and that'll be a Bobcats will get the ball back. She kind of almost took a bit of a nasty fall there. Boren goes up to the far side to Buckner. She'll move left side. Buckner slings it to the left to Ivy, now up to Boren. Boren has that gap closed on her. Worland kind of playing a 2-3 here. Up on the right side. That one's up and no good. And the 2-3 zone, I feel like, is a nightmare to try to get through. You can't, if a team's going to 2-3, that means they're trying to defend the paint. And that might force the Bobcats to shoot from outside a little bit. Here they go down the right side. Elder gets it poked away. Barely keeps it in bounds. Elder steals it back. It's chaos inside the key. And Elder takes the shot. It's up and a foul. And that is why you never give up on the play. That is one of the big things they teach you in a lot of these sports. Do not give up on the play. That is exactly why. Textbook example. You can see there the freshman boys. I think they're coming back around the other end to try to get into the locker room. That is, remember, coming up after this, we got freshman boys action. We got one checking in. It looks like that 24 is being patched up. It is a number 14. I do still believe that is Brindley Erickson. Oh, so that might have been what the technical foul was for. Oh, check that. Shot is up and it's no good. So that might have been what the tech was for, matching jersey numbers. Jump stop, goes up to the left and overshoots her man. Number 14 was the intended target on that one. So 2 number 24s was, I think, I see what that was. It all makes sense now. I actually did not catch that. It's probably why I'm not a referee. Driving right side, Boren coughs it up, and now they'll cough it right back up now, this time to Dobbins. Dobbins dips it underneath to Boren, and that is going to go right on back to the Warriors. You know, I'm so used to saying Braves with these girls. So it looks like we're going to have a timeout here. Bobcats will use their first one. We'll be back in just a moment. You are watching freshman girls basketball on Two Basins Sports Network, the future of the Bobcats, on the voice of the Bobcats.
Thermopolis Basketball Club organizes competitive basketball for Thermopolis youth, teaching fundamentals, sportsmanship, discipline, and teamwork for grades 3rd through 12th. Thank you to our sponsors for supporting our athletes. Proud sponsor of Two Basin Sports Network.
Like to welcome you back here inside of Hot Springs County High School, home of the Bobcats, freshman girls basketball on Two Basins Sports Network. Bobcats up 18-7. Worland outscoring themselves from that first quarter. Thermopolis hasn't put nearly as many up on the board. They ended it 16-4 earlier after that first timeout for Worland, for Worland. So with that being said, back into action here in the second quarter. Both teams now working with 4 timeouts now for the remainder of this game. Coming up after this, we got freshman boys action against the Worland Warriors. That game will start at just about approximately 10-15 minutes after this one concludes. Hope to have you all with us. And then on Thursday, we are heading down to Ethity on the Wind River Reservation as the Thermopolis Bobcats JV and varsity teams take on the Wyoming Indian Chiefs. Those will start at about 4 o'clock p.m. on Two Basins Sports Network. Back underway here as Worland will be bringing this one up past the timeline. Bounce pass up to the far side. This is going to be up to the patchwork player here, number 14. She'll go right side up to the 20. Again, those 2 girls not on our roster on the baseline here. And a foul. So looks like Thermopolis is going to get called for another defensive foul. Worland is going to have it on the baseline. Thermopolis should be very, very familiar with these ladies. They played this exact roster twice last season at the 8th grade level. And it looks like we're going to have a traveling violation on the Lady Warriors. This is going to send it back up to the Bobcats. Carson Ivy set to check it in. Now here comes Jaden Boren. Boren on the scruff of the Bobcat. She'll go left side to Buckner. Buckner into the paint now, giving up back to foot on the line. That's going to send it back to the Warriors. Hope you're having a great night. Hopefully you're staying, I don't know if I should say stay warm or staying cool. It's been unseasonably warm here in Thermopolis and across the state of Wyoming, unless you are in the mountains. Brianna Kaufman and Briley Trontvine will be coming into the game here for the Warriors. Brianna Kaufman checks it in. Here comes Kylie Bell. Bell gets a pass up to the 3 of Brianna Kaufman. She'll try a big pass forward up to the 5, and it will work for Trontvine. It'll go out of bounds. Looks like it'll stay here with the Warriors. 18-7 in case you're just tuning in. Freshman girls basketball on Two Basins Sports Network, brought to you by Kirby Consulting at Thermopolis Basketball Club. And smothered on the shot and taken away on the rebound. And here comes Ja'Kay Elder on the fast break. Down the left, shot on its way. It's up and it's no good. Out of bounds to go back to the Warriors. Big breakaway for Ja'Kay Elder, but they just couldn't finish at the rim. And unfortunately, they're going to have to do a little bit better about that for the remainder of this game. But coming into the game is Paisley Logan. Logan exclusively, well, not exclusively, but, I guess both of her field goals have come underneath the basket. She has done a great job finishing at the rim, generating turnovers, and in a good way, not offensive turnovers. Far side, Worland getting catty-cornered there on the far side, and now they'll try to get out of it, and a poke there by the 1 of Elder. It'll get called for the reach, I believe. 2:27 to go here. So that'll be the Bobcats' 4th foul. They're staring a 5th right in their face here. One more foul till the bonus. And Worland with it on the far side. They'll try to get there, but it's volleyballed away. This one's going to go out of bounds on the far side. And that'll leave us with 2:17 to go. Kylie Bell will be up there on the far side here for the Warriors. Tosses it in to the 5 of Trontvine. Now back to her. Now this one will be a loose ball. Ends up near the Bobcat bench, and it'll go back to Thermop. 2:13 still to go. Boren will toss this in to Ivy, and they'll pass it back and forth between each other. So I guess Ivy's going to be playing at the point position here. Passes it left side up to Buckner. Buckner right side, now up to Elder. Wanted to go for 3, gives off to Boren. Now slings it inside to Logan. She'll lose control of the ball. Ball loose, now picked up there by Kylie Bell. Bell trying to avoid both Logan and Ivy, and those two ladies will draw the traveling violation from Kylie Bell. 1:52 still to play. Jaden Bourne will toss this one in from the baseline. Bourne up to Buckner. She'll move left side now, switches to her right, steps back, takes the three. That one's up and it's no good. Logan on the offensive rebound. It's up and it's in. Fast work there by Paisley Logan to get the rebound and the second chance. And she is currently sitting pretty with 8 points on the night. Up on the round top, she'll move right side. This one's tipped and stolen away. Here comes Boren. Transitions to the right side. It's up with some contact. It's up, no good. Rebounded by Brindley Erickson. And now stolen right on back. Here comes Logan. Right side now to Elder. She'll try for three. This one's up. Three! Oh, it's two. What a shot there by Ja'Kay Elder. I don't care how many points it was worth. Had that one from directly on the top of the key and got it in for two. Her first points of the night, I believe. And now Worland starting to face a little bit of pressure. Here comes the 24 of Erickson. Erickson kicks it back up to the 3 of Kaufman. She'll move left side. Now up to the 5 of Schrontvine and out to the corner to the 2 of Bell. Tries to feed up underneath, and that is up to Brindley Erickson, out of bounds. Less than a minute to go here in the second quarter, and what a game it's been. Checking it in is Ivy. She'll feed it up to Jaden Boren. Boren on the scruff of the neck of the cat here. She'll move to the left side up to Buckner, I think this is. Buckner feeds it into Boren, takes the jumper. That one misses from mid-range, and Boren's been struggling to get points tonight. And up onto the timeline. That one intercepted by Paisley Logan. Feeds up to the front. Here comes Boren. Fast break stopped. Here comes Elder. Takes the shot from mid. That one's up, no good. Just has to use her arms a little bit more there. She used her legs pretty well, but unfortunately Elder just did not have enough on the actual shot. You could definitely see a good job for her for trying, though. She did nail that. If her feet were a couple of inches shorter, probably would have been a three. You can ask Isaiah Likely how that feels. So we do have a foul committed by the Bobcats. It will result in free throws because the Bobcats now have 5 fouls on the quarter. Of course, that results in a bonus, which is 2 guaranteed free throws in the NFHS. Kylie Bell at the line. She missed her first one. Second shot up, and she gets it to go. Worland's been hit or miss for free throws. I think they're shooting about 50-50 here tonight. 7 seconds to go. Here comes Boren. Kicks it back up. Takes the shot. This is Ivy. This one's up and no good. And takes the shot. It's off. They're not going to count the basket. And what an attempt, but it was just off, not in time. And that is going to conclude the first half of action. We'll be back in 10 minutes for the start of this second half, and what a game it's been for the Cats. 22-8 against the rival Worland Warriors. Second half of action coming up right after this, and you will not want to miss it. 22-8 at the end of the second quarter. You're watching freshman girls basketball on Two Basins, a sports network. The future of the Bobcats here on the Voice of the Bobcats. We'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere.
Thermopolis Basketball Club organizes competitive basketball for Thermopolis youth, teaching fundamentals, sportsmanship, discipline, and teamwork for grades 3rd through 12th. Thank you to our sponsors for supporting our athletes. Proud sponsor of Two Basin Sports Network.
Hello and welcome back here inside of Hot Springs County High School. Great to have you all with us. Freshman girls basketball on Two Basins Sports Network. I'd like to remind you today's broadcast brought to you by Kirby Consulting and Thermopolis Basketball Club, two proud sponsors of our broadcast here on TBSM. We know those two will be with us for the middle school season as well, so thank you all for your support. Of course, if you want to join that list, get in contact. We'd love to have you with us here. On the elbow, kicking it back up top, now to the right side, up to Carson Ivy. She'll move left side, now goes up to Jaden Bourne, who's been hitting a bit of a cold streak. If this was NBA 2K, she'd have the little snowflake icon below her circle, because she's been ice cold tonight, and she tries the three there, cannot get it to go. But she's done well on defense. Absolutely nothing to really comment on that. But like offensively, she's been missing a lot of her shots. I think she's made one tonight. But hopefully she'll warm up, because if she gets hot, and she is unstoppable. Jaden Bourne dipping it inside to Logan. You want to talk about unstoppable. Shots up and in. She's into double digits. Paisley Logan has been the definition of unstoppable. She did not play a lot in that second quarter, but first quarter, when she was out on the floor, she racked up the points. She's been hard to defend, and she's the tallest player out there, or second tallest player out there on the floor. Number 24 is pretty tall. But Logan with the tip and taken away now by Buckner. Bounce past the board and takes the shot. It's up and it rolls in. Jaden Boren finally getting herself on the board here in this game with a beautiful assist by Buckner. And Mackenzie Buckner, we've been talking more about Paisley Logan, but Buckner's had a fantastic game as well, as the court monster gets Logan down there. But Mackenzie Buckner's had a fantastic game as well. She's tried a couple of threes, hasn't made them, but she's got a pretty good field. I think she's got the second best field goal percentage tonight on the team. So those two girls have been really doing their jobs well tonight. 26-8 is your score. Dips underneath to Logan. Shots up. That's 12 points. I'm telling you, she's not going to get stopped tonight. A 20-point deficit. You know, I'm always scared of the Worland Warriors. They've always had a fantastic basketball program, and even when Thermopolis was in 3A, I remember Worland beat our boys by they put up 80 on us. I think they beat us by 50 points. I've always been scared of the Warriors, consistent state championship contenders, and I know that freshman is separate from varsity, but they're always still a really tough team. Out of bounds, and it looks like it'll stay right where it's at with the Warriors. 6:03 still to play in this third quarter. Almost a regulation middle school quarter. And it's tipped and stolen away by Bohr in Raccoon hands. We called her a bandit last year at the middle school level, and it was true. She got a lot of steals in the middle school level, one of the most dangerous defensive players that the 8th graders had last year. Underneath, taking the shot is Dobbins, and splash! Got it to go. Nothing but net on that shot from mid-range. And Bobcats getting a little bit braver with their shots now that they're up by a bigger margin. Wonder how many of these players we're going to see in Ethity on Thursday for the JV game. Still don't know what gender is playing on the main court, by the way. We don't know. We're absolutely broadcasting a JV game, but we're broadcasting, obviously, the game that's being played on the main competition court. Wyoming Indian has 3 courts that they can use at their disposal, and I know for a fact I think there's a scoreboard on the other court that they use. So they're going to be dividing that up into 2 sites for JV, trying to figure out what gender is playing where. Shot is up on the front of the rim, but once we get that information, we will let you know. I'm going to call the Wyoming Indian schools tomorrow, try and get a hold of their athletic director. Going to the near side, but either way, I said all that to say we are broadcasting JV basketball in Ethity on Thursday. We just don't know what gender it's going to be, if it's going to be boys JV or girls JV. Up to the near side, Worland trying to mount the attack here. This is going to be the 2 of Kylie Bell, now to the 3 of Kaufman. Out of bounds, and this one's going to come back, and that's going right up into the Thermopolis locker room. 4:45 to go in the third quarter of this freshman girls game. And looks like they're going to call the one to the far side. That is Ja'Kay Elder. She nailed a a 2-ball earlier in the second quarter. Still sitting at 2 points in this game, but she was a little bit of a 3 threat last year as an 8th grader. Here comes a shot by Dobbins. That one's up and out of bounds. And Dobbins has supplied the bulk of the bench points tonight for the Bobcats. She's sitting, I believe, at 6 points tonight. She's done very well scoring off the bench. Gives up to the 3 or to the 5 of Breeley Trotvine. Moving to her right side. Goes to the 3 now of Brianna Kaufman. She'll move to her right now, back up to the 5 of Trotvine. Trotvine left side now. Here comes Kaufman. Now to the 2 of Bell. Bell moves to her left side. Has her back turned. Pass to get around the perimeter. Lines it up for the 3. That one's up and no good. Trying to get in there was Dobbins. It's an offensive rebound for the 15. It looks like we got a foul. Moana Peterson gets in there and rebounds. And we got a timeout for the Bobcats. We'll take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Thermopolis Basketball Club organizes competitive basketball for Thermopolis youth, teaching fundamentals, sportsmanship, discipline, and teamwork for grades 3rd through 12th. Thank you to our sponsors for supporting our athletes. Proud sponsor of Two Basin Sports Network.
Let's welcome you back here. Worland Warriors and Thermopolis Bobcats on Two Basins Sports Network, and stolen away by Carson Ivy on the inbound. And she will get the fast break points. Ivy converts it in for 2. Bobcats called a timeout before we went to break, but they are up 32-8. And it looks like it's a, they have quadrupled the points total of the Worland Warriors tonight. And the Orange and Black does not have had a good night tonight. And it looks like Worland will now call a timeout. So we're going to take another breather. We're not going to show the commercial again, but not right now anyway. But we'll be right back. It looks like a full timeout for the Warriors. We'll be right back. You're watching Freshman Girls Basketball on Two Basins Sports Network. Talking back here, Worland Warriors and Thermopolis Bobcats on Two Basins Sports Network. Down the right side, Logan on the defensive rebound. And what a game it's been for the Bobcats. I know we said that a ton of times tonight, but they've had a fantastic showing. Just nothing, nothing really else to say. Logan on the shot. It's up and a foul. Sorry about that. But Logan fouled on the shot there. Will result in free throws. 3:03 to go. And Logan has, she did hit both of her shots in her last attempt, but now she's looking at a 2 for 3 on free throws tonight. Still sitting at 12 points. And that one's up. She's not going to make it 13. Worland on the defensive rebound, and Sitting into the last 11 minutes of this game, and the Warriors just have not had a good experience at all. It's been very rough road for them, especially offensively, but here they go. Bobcats on another steal. And unfortunately not able to keep control of the ball herself. It'll send the Warriors back to their possession here. I don't even think that's the right way to say it. 2:36 to go. Up to the far side. Passing it around the perimeter. Pump fakes. Gives it inside. Onto the elbow. Underneath. Tips it back to Ivy. And it's going to be, it looks like out of bounds. It'll go back to the Bobcats. We got one checking in. It looks to be Hannah Boren back into the game. She'll check in for Jakay Elder. Boren's game has been getting better throughout the course here. 14 checking in for Worland. The number 20 checking in. Of course, those two are not on our roster. Moana Peterson and Kylie Bell will be checking out. Elder up to the far side now to the two of Ivy. She'll pass right side. And Dobbins, I'm trying to remember her name. Dobbins loses control of the ball. It's back to the Warriors. Up past the timeline. Jump stop. And passes it up behind the volleyball attack line. This is the 5. She'll move left side to Kaufman. Passing it amongst themselves here. Travaine and Kaufman. Number 20 with it on the wing. Gives up to the 14. We got a whistle. 1:48 to go. Number 20 will toss this one in for the Bobcats. And she'll toss it into the left side, and now stolen away by Ivy. Ivy now up to Boren, and they're going to try and get out of a naked backcourt here. 1:38 to go. Up top, now up to Ivy. Ivy left or right side now to Boren, now up to Buckner. Dips it inside to Logan, has a small lane, kicks it back out. And they're going to go around the perimeter here. Buckner lines it up for the 3. That one's up, rebounded by Ivy, and a foul. Beautiful work there by the offense. And the difference between this team and the current 8th grade team is that these guys are doing a much better job of rebounding. They know that they're going to have one guy take the shot. If she goes up and misses, there's a guy there on the left side or the right side of the basket on both sides to try and get that rebound, and that's what's making this offense so dangerous. Shots up, and it looks like it was volleyballed away. Looks like they're going to say white ball here. Jaden Bourne will be there on the baseline between the O and or right there on the corner of the B. And they'll toss this in, and now here comes Dobbins. Now back up to Ivy. Gives it inside to Logan. And we spied in before the lower shot is up for 3. That one's up and misses. And the 5 of Trondheim on the rebound. Before the freshman game against Level, the boys' freshman game, we were able to peek in on the practice while we were setting up. We were there. We were peeking on them practicing, and they were in the middle of a fast break drill, right? They were trying to work in a little bit on some of those fast break opportunities, trying to hammer those down, and some of that practice is coming into play here, obviously. These girls have been fantastic tonight on the fast break opportunities that they've been given, and generating those two has been the important part. Bourne up to the corner now to Ivy. Shot on its way for 3, and it rims out. And a great rebound there by the 24. 32-8 is your score. 26 seconds left. Now up to the left side onto the volleyball attack line. Now here comes the 3 of Kaufman. Now up to passing it around the perimeter. Back to Kaufman on the elbow. Dipping it inside to the 14. Now around the perimeter again to the 20. Passing it right side up to Trottvine. And 2 seconds to shoot. Shot is up from mid. Cannot get it to fall. That'll conclude the third quarter. We'll be right back here in just a moment. You're watching Freshman girls basketball on Two Basins Sports Network. Final quarter coming up here in just a moment.
Thermopolis Basketball Club organizes competitive basketball for Thermopolis youth, teaching fundamentals, sportsmanship, discipline, and teamwork for grades 3rd through 12th. Thank you to our sponsors for supporting our athletes. Proud sponsor of Two Basin Sports Network.
I'm talking back here, Worland Warriors and Thermopolis Bobcats on Two Basins Sports Network. The future of the Bobcats on the voice of the Bobcats. Into the final minutes of this girls game. The freshman boys will be playing after this. Skip and stolen away. This is coming back the other way here, down the right side. Bounce pass left. I think this is Elder. It's up and it's in. Number 3 with it for Worland. And I'm sorry for a little bit disoriented here in this fourth quarter. Currently trying to deal with something here in the fourth quarter. But in the middle of the floor, shot is on its way. It's up and it's in. Worland now finally gets into double digits. Took them long enough. Don't forget boys action coming up after this. Ivy, Boren, and now Elder inside to Logan. Turns around and splash! 36-10. Of course, coming up in about 4 minutes or so, we will have your Thermopolis Basketball Club player of the game. I think this one is a pretty easy decision. Moving to the left side. Now up to the 2 of Kylie Bell. She'll pass it right side now to the 5 of Trotvine. Trotvine now to Kaufman. And gives it inside, and Logan on another steal. Gives up to Boren. Bit of a hard pass there. She threw it like right at her, like bullet speed. Up top, Boren now to the right side to Elder. Now back up to Boren up top. Now left side up to Ivy. And this one's tipped and stolen away. Come back the other way is Moana Peterson down the right side. Loses control. Spins out of it and stolen back away. And trying to drive inside and a foul. So it'll be the first foul of the quarter here for the Bobcats. Worland will have the possession here. First team foul was charged to Dobbins for her second personal. So Thermopolis will get the ball back as it rolls out of bounds. Ivy will toss this one in here to Boren. Up past the attack line, goes over to the far side to Ivy, now back to Boren, now right side to Elder. Pump fakes, now back up to Boren. One dribble, now here comes Ivy, no good for 3. And Logan on the rebound. That one's going back up to the 15 of Moana Peterson. She has been easily the best player on the floor here tonight for the Warriors, just overall. Points leader, I still believe, is Brindley Erickson. Briley Trontvine moving to her left side with one hand here. Now to the two of Kylie Bell. Tries to dip it inside. And the pass intended for Brianna Kaufman will go out of bounds. It'll be Bobcat ball. .5:15 still to play. Past the timeline. Goes up to the left side here to Boren. Takes one stop. Now here comes the one of Elder. Sorry, I was trying to get her name, but the two is no good. Rebounded there by Boren. Good job getting the O-Reb. Inside to Logan. Turns around. Takes the shot. It's up and it's no good. Rebounded by the 5 of Briley Trottvine. Been calling her name a lot in this fourth quarter. Kaufman back up to Bell. Now to Trottvine. She'll move to her left. Trottvine right side to Kaufman, and now they're going to go around the perimeter. Beautiful pass. That one's up and cha-ching for Kylie Bell. And a timeout will be called for Worland. We're going to take a quick breather, and we'll be right back. 36-12 is your score with 4:31 to go. Worland's third timeout. They have 2 remaining. You are watching freshman girls basketball on Two Basins Sports Network, the future of the Bobcats, here on the Voice of the Bobcats.
Thermopolis Basketball Club organizes competitive basketball for Thermopolis youth, teaching fundamentals, sportsmanship, discipline, and teamwork for grades 3rd through 12th. Thank you to our sponsors for supporting our athletes. Proud sponsor of Two Basin Sports Network.
Glad to have you all with us here. Fourth quarter about ready to resume. You are watching freshman girls basketball on Two Basins Sports Network, the future of the Bobcats, on the Voice of the Bobcats. 4:31 still to play, about halfway through this fourth quarter. And I think this game is pretty much done and dusted. The Warriors trailing. You can see the scoreboard for yourself and know that is not a mistake. It is a 24-point game. Well, Worland, now you know how we felt back in like 2018 when our teams kept losing by 20 to 30 points to you guys. I'm just joking. And no shade to the Warriors here. Shot is up for Logan. That one's up and in, 38-12. Logan, I think, is just well beyond double digits at this point. I think she's got like 16 points, and that one goes in behind the 20. And severe miscommunication there between the 20 and Kylie Bell. Ja'Kay Elder tosses this one in. Here comes Boren. Passes to her right side. Boren up top, lines it up for 3. That one's up, 3! And what a shot. The first 3-point field goal of the night for the Bobcats, and it is going to be Boren. Struggled a lot in that first half to get anything going. She is finally getting herself more and more on the board as the game progresses. 3:38 still to go here in this game. The boys are currently up on the track warming up behind me as we speak. They're ready to go for their game. That's coming up next. And Ivy gets the ball here now up to Boren. Trying to get this one out of the backcourt. Up top, Boren tries again, rims out. I think they just need to have Boren continue to put those shots up. She was struggling to get anything going inside. I think they're in a position right now, 41-12, where they can, take more brave shots. I think they can try for 3. I don't really like the whole philosophy that a lot of coaches have about discouraging 3-point shots. It's not the 1970s anymore. Let these guys take those 3 shots and see where they go. And that's where these girls were pretty successful, in my opinion, last year. They were able to consistently get those 3-point shots to go. And I feel like if you hold that back, you're only holding back points. So I feel like that's why a lot of Bobcat teams in the 2010s struggled. Logan kicks it back out to Elder. It looks like a little bit of a collision. Bell tries to get in there. That's going to go back up to the Bobcats. Great work there by Kylie Bell to get in there to try to get the ball back for the Lady Warriors. 2:56 to go. And one more time for those in the back, the Worland Warriors taking on the Thermopolis Bobcats. Freshman boys basketball coming up after this. Ivy now to Boren off the pass by Elder. Now Elder will get it back. Now back to Boren. Dips it inside to Dobbins. Dobbins inside to Logan. This one's going back to the Warriors. 2:35 to go. And we are 1 minute away from our from our Thermopolis Basketball Club player of the game. Bounce pass to the left side. Here comes the 2 of Kylie Bell. She'll look to pass to her left side to the 20. Moving to her right side. Now up to Kylie Bell. Bell dips it inside to the 14. Turns around, takes the shot, no good. Rebounded, that one's up, that one's no good. Palms it away, and now Jakay Elder is going to do what she wants with it here. Now she'll give it back up to Ivy. 2-minute warning here in this game. Here comes Boren. Lines it up for the 3! Jaden Boren! What a shot. Her second three-point field goal of the night. Getting more and more confident, and you can definitely see it there. 1:45 to go. Might as well deliver our player of the game, but that's coming up right after this timeout. Worland. One more timeout remains for them here in this game. You're watching freshman girls basketball on Two Basins Sports Network. The future of the Bobcats on the voice of the Bobcats.
Thermopolis Basketball Club organizes competitive basketball for Thermopolis youth, teaching fundamentals, sportsmanship, discipline, and teamwork for grades 3rd through 12th. Thank you to our sponsors for supporting our athletes. Proud sponsor of Two Basin Sports Network.
I'd like to welcome you back here inside of Hot Springs County High School. Thermopolis Bobcats and Worland Warriors for freshman girls basketball. Well, I think it's time to deliver our Two Basins Sports Network player of the game, as the 15 is going to have that one slide through her fingers there, out of bounds off of Milana Peterson. But your Thermopolis Basketball Club player of the game is going to go to Paisley Logan of the Thermopolis Bobcats. And this young lady was so amazing to watch during her 8th grade year, and it's good to see she hasn't lost any of that luster in her freshman year. Foul committed here. Honorable mentions today for the Bobcats include Aislinn Dobbins, Jaden Bourne, and Mackenzie Buckner. Honorable mentions today for the Warriors include Kylie Bell, Brianna Kaufman, and Kylie Bell, Milana Peterson, and Brinley Erickson are your honorable mentions today for Worland. And I guess an extra one for Brianna Kaufman. Down the right side, shots up and it's no good. Offensive rebound, that one's up and a foul. Milana Peterson is going to go to the line to shoot 2 as a result. (44-12). What a game for the Cats. Our next broadcast after tonight is going to be JV basketball against Wyoming Indian. And I think there's a chance we'll see some of these girls again on Thursday. I think the girls are going to be playing on the main competition gym on Thursday night in Ethity. And it's kept in bounds. Up past the timeline is Ivy. Gives it to the near side to Boren. She'll move left side, passes up to Ivy, now back up to Elder. Steps out, it moves right side, now back up to Boren. 3-ball coming up, and it is no good for Ivy. Rebounded by Dobbins. It's up and it's in. Aislinn Dobbins has had a fantastic night tonight. Like we said earlier in that 3rd quarter, highest scoring bench player today for the Bobcats. Dips it inside, now tries to go left, and it's out of bounds. 39.8 seconds to go. Carson Ivy will toss this one in for the Cats. And this game is pretty much all but over. We got boys action coming up right after this. That'll be coming up on a separate live stream, so you might want to go to the YouTube channel page and search and look for the boys one. Should be the newest one upcoming. Shot for the right side, and it's up and in for Mackenzie Buckner. 48-12. This game has gotten so out of control for the Warriors, and it doesn't even look like they're, and that was a pretty sloppy pass there too, just to rub salt in the wound. And definitely not the game that the Lady Warriors wanted here tonight. Up to the far side to Boren. She'll move to her right, now to Elder, now to the 2 of I think that's Ivy, and now they'll sling this one over to Buckner. They wanted to get that one off in time, and it's not going to happen. That's going to conclude this game. Freshman girls basketball here. The Thermopolis Bobcats take down the rival Worland Warriors 48-12. Not much of a better feeling than beating Worland, but we're going to go deliver this certificate, and then we're going to go for the boys game. Once again, the final score, this one 48-12. Just what a dominant performance today for the Cats, and we're hoping that the boys can put on the same show. That's coming up in 13 minutes here on TBSN, so hope to see you then. As always, like and subscribe to TBSN. Share this with your friends. Get this out there to as many people as possible. And if that's all you're here for, we thank you so much for tuning in. Otherwise, boys are coming up next. And until next time, please drive home safe and do not pet the buffalo. Final score, Thermopolis Bobcats 48, the Worland Warriors 12.
Thermopolis Basketball Club organizes competitive basketball for Thermopolis youth, teaching fundamentals, sportsmanship, discipline, and teamwork for grades 3rd through 12th. Thank you to our sponsors for supporting our athletes. Proud sponsor of Two Basin Sports Network.